Welcome back to Youngster Joey's Pack Pops. Today we've got some packs that we won't be popping. Let's just say that. Have you ever ordered a booster box from a weird place? Maybe you got it from eBay. Maybe you got it from, I don't know, your neighbor's basement. Have you ever ordered any Pokemon booster boxes from Etsy? You know, I've ordered from Etsy before, and I was pleasantly surprised. You know, the service was great. I love that there's a buyer, safety guarantee on what you order. And boy, did I need it this time. I was absolutely devastated and sick to my stomach when I found out that this box that I paid $383 for was fake. And, after going back and forth for a full 2 days on Etsy, I was able to get a case open up, and the seller now has to issue me a refund and return because I have not opened the box. I just ordered it, knew something felt off, and then I got a real one to test it to make sure that what I was getting wasn't fake. But to be honest, I didn't really need it. I just needed a little bit of proof. So today I'm going to show you guys what a real box of Unbroken Bonds looks like. And as you can see, you've got the Pokemon lettering or Pokemon on the plastic here. You've got an Unbroken Bonds across there. Good detail on the Reshiram and the Charizard here. Classic. One of the best tag team cards you can get in the set. You've got this nice dark blue with Marshadow and Machamp. All the packs here have this going the same way. And on the back, you've got Charizard and Reshiram again. Finally, we've got Sylveon and we've got Gardevoir, along with a pretty sealed looking plastic. There's a little bit of, it's just tightening of where the plastic goes around here. But on this side, you can see all the packs lined up again. There's also pretty dark on top with the Melmetal and Lucario. But nothing here looks like it's really been tampered with. Now let me show you what the fake box is. And boy, oh boy, this is going to be bad. First thing, right off the bat, the absolute dog shit quality of the Charizard and Reshiram of the fake one compared to the real one is very noticeable. You don't get the full Charizard in the fake box. You do on the left. The Pokemon sign on top, different size, different shading, different spacing. The Pokemon on the plastic wrap, different size. The size of the Unbroken Bonds logo in the center here, smaller. In the real box, you can see that there's sort of a design. It kind of looks like some L's making squares. I don't know if you can see that in there. But on this box, they're very, very small. Probably here, they're the size of almost one of my thumbnails. Here, they're, I would say 3 of them make up that size. So there's a large difference there. So that's the front. And of course, when I bought this, I didn't know that it was fake. They only had 2 pictures of the box. It was a risk, I knew, but I knew I was safe and covered by Etsy when I bought it. So I felt comfortable taking the risk. When it arrived, though, I knew that something felt right off the bat. The weight itself, this is very light. And not only is it very light, but it looks tampered with. There's these little spots on the side here that look like someone had to heat treat this box. Like they had to take some sort of you can kind of see these weird plastic circles. That doesn't just naturally occur. Like this needs to be under some ridiculous pressure. Somebody had to put a hairdryer to this to say, oh, we got to make this look sealed. So it's also opened here. Never a good sign. You don't want it to be open, but sometimes that can happen. But these little dots that look like it was tampered with and the different size Pokeballs on here, that's just wrong. On top of that, one of the big keys is, difference in coloring. It's lighter in the fake box. It's darker on the real box. So they never seem to really get, the shading right on these boxes. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. They just want it to look good enough. What you can see here, this pack they're not really perfect. There's something wrong with it. That pack looks like it's backwards in here. When I saw the picture of the box online, they showed the front from afar, which, from afar, it's kind of hard to tell. Bad quality photo. Yeah, they wanted to show the whole. So they showed it like this. And this one has like the many alternating pack arts in there. What they didn't show, which would have been the most obvious giveaway that this box was not real, was the back. Here's the real one with your Reshiram and Charizard chilling on there. And why didn't they show the back on the fake one? Well, because there's no freaking Charizard and Reshiram on it. I mean, just a blatantly obvious miss on a bunch of scammers. It's like they tried to miss key things in here, or they just said they couldn't do it and they screw it. And like, what did they think, that I was just not going to like fight, say, oh, this, it's a real one. So when I talked to the seller about this, I said, hey, I'm really sorry, but if you got this box a few years back, like, you've been scammed. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. I didn't know. I know that if I had something that I resold and it ended up being fake, like, I would want someone to come to me and be, I know that they'd be upset, but if they could come to me and say like, hey, this is not, it's not your fault potentially. Like, I know you probably bought this, you're a victim here too. But I understand. Like, I would understand that, and that's how I would want them to react to me. So I talked to the seller. I said, hey, I'm really sorry. You've been scammed. I'm going to need my money back. I haven't touched your box, and I hope that you can, I'm sorry, but like, I got to send this back. Like, I'm not spending $400 on a fake box that I'm not even going to touch. Like, I want no liability. I want no piece of this. And that's when I, that's when I was reaffirmed that there are just some really awful people out there in the world. This person clearly knew that it was a fake box. One of the lines they used to say that I was scamming them was, why are you buying more if you already have one? As if do they even know the Pokemon community? Like, do they even understand the idea of collecting? I mean, they put a box out there at a cheaper than should have been price, which flag number one. And when you're buying vintage products from unknown sellers, they not think that I was going to check. And it's absurd. Like, they tried to call me the scammer because I didn't want to pay them for this fake box that they clearly sent me. Then they were making up all these things about how, like, oh yeah, like, you can return it, but return it outside of don't return it outside, or return it outside of Etsy. Like, just send it back to me and I'll maybe return your money. And I'm like, I'm not sending you back this shitty box that is clearly fake. Like, why would I put myself at that risk? That is just the most ridiculous thing that I've ever heard. So I opened up a case. He said the words like, return it and we'll see what we can do. And because of that, the mediator then stepped in and said, hey, like, you said that you would accept a return, and you have to issue a return. Otherwise, in 2 days, we're going to be issuing a refund on your behalf. And then he responded after a while saying, no, I'm not issuing a return. Like, it's exactly as listed, which it wasn't, because he did not say it was a fake booster box of Unbroken Bonds. He said it was an unopened factory sealed booster box, with the listing now taken down. And he's going to get caught, and nothing's probably going to happen to him. He may not issue the return, but Etsy is going to have my back. I've got all the proof. I've got all the pictures. I've got him calling me a bunch of names and doing all kinds of weird crap that just make him seem like a really bad person. And it's sad, because, again, this is really sad for the hobby that there's people out in the world like this, but there's a lot of things that you can do to avoid these situations. And one of them is to make sure you're buying from a reputable seller. Don't go to people who have no sales and no reviews. Make sure that you're you're buying through reputable, like, resellers. So Etsy, eBay, anything that has like a money back guarantee where you are protected is the best place to go for this stuff. Also, you may not know that things are fake when they get there. It can be really hard to tell sometimes, but you got to do your research. For me, this real box of unbroken bonds cost about $674 on eBay, or sorry, on Amazon. And I bought it because I, for some reason, couldn't find good enough pictures to like tell that it was fake. Um, but I knew I had the money back guarantee, and I knew I wasn't going to open it. So I knew that on Amazon. So I'm going to return it. I'm probably even going to send a thank you note that says, "Hey, like I appreciate you sending this to me. This was used to essentially prove that someone was selling a fake. And even though I'm, not fully purchasing a $700 booster box, I really, really, really appreciate what you've done. So thank you." And finally, though, just if you find something at a price that seems too good to be true, it probably is. So um, just be careful out there. Enjoy the hobby, but be safe. But mostly remember that it doesn't take a $400 booster box or a $700 booster box to have fun with the hobby. Sometimes all it takes is just one pack. Until next time, I'm Youngster Joey. Catch you guys on the flip side.